The NBA is a league filled with triumph, glory, and unforgettable athletic feats. From last-second buzzer beaters to iconic championship celebrations, fans often remember the thrill of victory, but just as often, the heartbreak of defeat leaves an indelible mark. Behind every glorious dunk and clutch three-pointer lies a story of a team or a player whose dreams were dashed in an instant, moments where the scoreboard told one story, but the hearts of fans told another. Today, we're taking a journey through some of the most heartbreaking moments in NBA history, moments that shook the league, devastated fan bases, and forever changed careers. 1. 1998 NBA Finals, Jazz vs. Bulls Game 6. We start with arguably the most dramatic ending in NBA Finals history, Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals. The Chicago Bulls, led by Michael Jordan, faced the Utah Jazz in Salt Lake City, and the series was tied 3-2 in favor of Chicago. In the final seconds, with the Jazz clinging to a chance at a miracle, John Stockton delivered a pass to Karl Malone. What followed is etched in NBA lore. Michael Jordan's iconic drive to the basket, finishing with the game-winning shot with 5.2 seconds left. For Bulls fans, it was a storybook ending, a sixth championship, Jordan's final shot in a Bulls uniform. But for Jazz fans, it was a moment of gut-wrenching despair. Years of hope, hard-fought playoff battles, and a chance at back-to-back titles ended in a single flick of the wrist, a single shot that transformed joy into heartbreak. 2004 NBA Finals, Lakers vs. Pistons Game 5. The 2004 NBA Finals were supposed to be a coronation for the Los Angeles Lakers, featuring a star-studded lineup of Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, and Gary Payton. Expectations were sky high, but what unfolded was a shocking collapse. The Detroit Pistons, known for their unselfish defensive-minded approach, stunned the Lakers in Game 5 in Los Angeles. The Pistons' disciplined defense held the Lakers to an uncharacteristically low shooting percentage, and the Lakers were unable to close out key plays. For fans and players alike, the sting of losing to a team that many saw as underdogs was profound. The heartbreak wasn't just about losing, it was losing to a team they were heavily favored to beat in a series that promised triumph but delivered humiliation. 3. 2016 NBA Finals, Cavaliers vs. Warriors, Game 7. Fast forward to 2016, a series many call the most dramatic in modern NBA history. The Golden State Warriors had set a record with a 73-9 regular season record and looked poised to secure their second championship in 3 years. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, led by LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, were not done. Game 7 came down to a single pivotal moment, LeBron's chase-down block on Andre Iguodala and Kyrie's clutch three-pointer with less than a minute remaining. For Warriors fans, the heartbreak was profound. After leading the series 3-1, they watched their record-breaking season end in a way they never could have imagined. The pain was compounded by the fact that the NBA Finals MVP would go to LeBron, leaving Golden State to wonder what could have been. 4. 1988 Eastern Conference Finals, Celtics vs. Pistons, Game 7. Heartbreak is not a modern phenomenon. Take, for instance, Game 7 of the 1988 Eastern Conference Finals. The Boston Celtics, led by Larry Bird, were considered favorites to reach the finals, but the Detroit Pistons, known as the Bad Boys for their physical play, had other plans. In a gritty, hard-fought contest, the Pistons managed to steal the win on the road, with Boston falling just short despite Bird's heroics. The Celtics had dominated throughout the season, but in the end, the Pistons' tenacity prevailed. For Boston fans, it was a bitter pill, a reminder that even legends like Bird could not always secure victory. 5. 1995 Western Conference Semifinals, Rockets vs. Spurs, Game 7. The 1995 playoffs saw the Houston Rockets, reigning champions, facing the San Antonio Spurs in a brutal Game 7 showdown. The series was tight and emotions ran high. With seconds ticking away in the final quarter, the Spurs had a chance to clinch, but a last-second shot by Hakeem Olajuwon, often remembered as both brilliant and heartbreaking, sealed the Rockets' fate. The Spurs were left stunned, and their fans were devastated by a play that underscored how thin the line is between glory and heartbreak in the NBA. 6. 2001 NBA Playoffs, Lakers vs. Kings, Western Conference Finals, Game 7. The 2001 Western Conference Finals featured the Sacramento Kings and the Los Angeles Lakers in one of the closest series of the decade. Game 7 was a back-and-forth thriller, with the Kings leading most of the game and on the verge of advancing to the finals. But the Lakers, fueled by Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, rallied in the final minutes. A combination of clutch shooting and controversial officiating, particularly in the fourth quarter, allowed Los Angeles to pull off a heartbreaking comeback. For Kings fans, this loss remains one of the most painful in franchise history, a what could have been moment that still haunts Sacramento to this day. 7. 2018 Playoffs, Cavaliers vs. Celtics, Eastern Conference Finals, Game 7. LeBron James returned to Cleveland in 2014 with a promise to bring a championship to his hometown. The 2018 Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics offered another chance. Game 7 was a nail-biter, with the lead swinging multiple times in the fourth quarter. Despite LeBron's Herculean effort, the Cavaliers fell short in the end, unable to hold off Boston's late-game surge. For fans, watching LeBron pour his heart and soul into a game only to lose was heartbreaking. The moment reinforced the cruel reality that even the greatest players can't always carry a team alone. 8. 2019 NBA Finals, Warriors vs. Raptors, Game 6. The Toronto Raptors' first ever championship came at the expense of a dynasty. The Golden State Warriors, plagued by injuries to Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson, faced the Raptors in a series that many expected to be one-sided. Game 6, however, was still a tough pill to swallow for Warriors fans. Despite the setbacks, Golden State fought valiantly, with Stephen Curry delivering an inspired performance and Draymond Green doing everything possible to keep the Warriors in contention. The Raptors ultimately prevailed, clinching the title, but for the Warriors and their fans, the heartbreak was palpable, losing not just a game, but the chance to extend a dynasty and defend multiple championships left a lingering sense of what could have been. Fans and analysts alike debated whether the Warriors' injuries, fatigue, or missed opportunities during crucial moments were the real cause of the defeat, cementing Game 6 as a bittersweet memory in NBA history. 9. 1993 NBA Finals, Suns vs. Bulls, Game 6. Before Michael Jordan's second three-peat, there was the 1993 NBA Finals against the Phoenix Suns. Game 6 is particularly memorable for John Paxson's game-winning three-pointer, which gave the Bulls the championship. For Suns fans, the agony of defeat was compounded by the feeling of inevitability, so close to victory, only to have it snatched away in the dying seconds. Charles Barkley and the Suns had fought through a grueling series, showing incredible heart and determination, but one shot changed everything. The heartbreak lingered not just in Phoenix, but across the league, as this moment reminded everyone how merciless and unpredictable basketball can be. Every missed defensive rotation and untaken opportunity suddenly became magnified in hindsight, solidifying Game 6 as a classic case of triumph for some and devastating heartbreak for others. 10. 2010 NBA Finals, Lakers vs. Celtics, Game 7. Finally, we revisit a classic Celtics-Lakers matchup. Game 7 of the 2010 Finals was a brutal contest, with both teams trading leads and momentum throughout the fourth quarter. Despite Kobe Bryant's incredible performance, the Celtics' defense and Paul Pierce's clutch plays gave Boston the edge. The Lakers came agonizingly close, but the championship slipped away in a series defined by intensity and rivalry. Fans in Los Angeles watched every possession with bated breath, knowing that the slightest mistake could cost them the title. For Lakers players, the heartbreak was magnified because of the storied rivalry and the chance to reclaim glory on the biggest stage. This game became an emotional roller coaster for players and fans alike, a reminder that in the NBA, even the most legendary efforts can fall just short of ultimate victory. Heartbreak is what makes the NBA unforgettable. Every buzzer beater, every missed shot, every shattered dream shapes the game's legacy. If you love these highs and lows, subscribe and join us for more deep dives into basketball's greatest stories.